sweet friends, and welcome to week 4 of Camp NaNoWriMo. So it is Tuesday, April 21st, I believe, and I'm actually filming the beta reading vlog today, which is so exciting, but so I'm not really going to, since I am making it a separate video, I'm not going to put all of that in here. So if you want to go see what happens today, which is all the beta reading stuff, I'm finally going to go through all of my beta reading feedback and make notes and all that good stuff. If you want to see that, that video should actually already be up, so I will link that somewhere. But I am going to continue this vlog. I will probably just give a little thing in the next clip at the end of today after I've done everything, and just kind of let y'all know how it went, how many hours I have, and just update y'all on that, and then the vlog will continue like normal. Hello everyone, it is a few days later. It's the 24th right now, and I just finally hit halfway on my goal yesterday. I don't have very high hopes of completing this goal and winning camp this month, but that's okay. I'm still gonna keep going. We're still working on it. We're doing it. I will say, right now it's almost 2 o'clock. I've already written 2 hours today, so that's really fun. I actually have a day off today, so I'm planning on just making today very writing heavy, basically just working on this all day and fitting in as many hours as I possibly can. So for a quick update, I guess, because the last clip I was actually filming a separate video. So I filmed that video. If you want to go watch it, it is up. It's the beta reader video. So just to give like a brief update on that, I went through and I finished reading through all the notes for Act 1, which is chapters 1 through 7, and I read through everything and I wrote my own notes. It is a little hard to work on some things just because I don't have the draft printed out, and I just feel like I work a lot better when I have a physical copy that I can go through and mark up. And then earlier today, during the 2 hours that I've already worked on it, I went ahead and also read through chapter 8 and chapter 9, and I've been working on some world building stuff because if you watched the beta reading video, world building in general is sort of my weak point. I just don't really give my reader a lot of information about my world and about what's going on or explaining how things work. So I really want to focus on making sure I have all this world building down and just making sure that all of these issues and aspects of the world I just have written down somewhere so that I have a much easier time when I'm actually writing and I can easily reference my notes. Oh, I was actually going to see if there are like world building templates in a way, maybe not necessarily templates, but methods and techniques and ways that people world build and fill all this stuff out. Basically like categories like government, religion, you know, all the basic stuff like that when it comes to world building. I was gonna actually look that up and just see if there's a nice big master list that I can reference. If any of you have a nice resource for that, please let me know. So right now I'm just going to keep that world building research part going. I do still have more chapters to read through for the beta reader feedback, but right now I just want to work on world building just because, I don't know. So what I'm actually gonna do, because I've really noticed that I've had very, very little structure lately, both just in my general life, but also when it comes to writing. And structure and routine is something that I absolutely thrive on and is a huge help to me. And so I felt a little aimless recently because I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have a plan. So right now I'm going to set up some sort of routine or structure or schedule for the day. So I started a small little list to keep myself on track. And I think for the first hour, I mainly want to focus on locations and I guess like the history of the world in a way. So I'm gonna do some research for world building, but I also want to try to get down like the history of NaNoWriMo, which is like the main country that this all takes place in, and starting to get some general stats about each major location that's mentioned in the story, like towns and cities and stuff like that. like climate, weather, what the city's like, the architecture, stuff like that. And then I did just write a few more things that I know I need to work on probably in the next hour after this one. And that is Orion's history. Basically her life before the story begins. Because I've noticed that I haven't built up enough about some of these characters before the story starts, like what makes them who they are today. And especially I noticed this, or this was coming to me with a certain chapter. There's a character named Carleona, and in the beginning I hinted that Orion and Carleona didn't get along, they had a lot of bad blood, but I didn't ever mention it again, and I didn't really have a reason for it. And I remember writing that just because I wanted to make that scene a little more interesting by mentioning this, but then it never comes up again because I didn't expand on that, because I didn't really think it was important. But it turns out the readers really wanted to hear about that because, and I mean it makes sense, because then we see them and they have a showdown, but nothing from their past is mentioned, and that needs to be brought up. So I just want to work on her history, what makes her who she is when the book begins, her relationships with other characters, stuff like that. So, let's go. So I've been working on world building stuff for a little bit now, and I'm not really following my routine or plan that I had laid out, because I sort of just started getting a lot of different ideas, not necessarily ideas in the story, but ideas of things that I need to be doing, and I'm trying to research these things. For example, history, and making a history for this world, and a timeline, and just fleshing everything out as much as it can be. Something that I really recommend doing whenever you are stuck in any sort of situation, or you need inspiration or motivation or anything like that, I always like to come back to the beginning. So basically, just the thing that gave me the inspiration for the story in the first place, whatever was motivating me at the very beginning. For example, I've talked about this with Project Orion. I originally got the premise for the story from a dream, but my biggest inspirations for actually writing this story were video games like BioShock Infinite, Dishonored, Final Fantasy. Those were pieces of media that really inspired everything and were big sources of inspiration in the whole process of writing and brainstorming and building and plotting, etc. And so now, especially since my biggest problem is world building, I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna come back to the original inspiration at the very beginning. So I started researching, just kind of reading up on those video games, remembering why I loved them, what aspects of it I wanted to incorporate in my story. And I just totally remembered how much I love these games and these inspirations and the style of it, what really captured my attention and what I really wanted to recreate. So going on the wikis for them and just researching every little thing, even if you played those games hundreds of times. There's always something new to learn, and also just things you didn't even remember. And it's just within the past hour been a huge help when it comes to thinking about government, city size, how things are run, because those were aspects of those pieces of media that I wanted to incorporate in my story in the first place. So that's what I've been doing for a while, and it's been so nice and helpful, and it's making me really excited again. I've always been excited about the story, but it's making me really excited about world building. And world building is always one of those things where it's interesting and it's really cool, but it's so much. There's just so much to think about. It's so very complex, and I've never been very good. I love organizing things, but I've never been very good at just thinking of all these things. It's such a huge scope, and it's truly like so many things affect other things. Like everything is connected and interwoven, and so it's so hard for me to come up with a way to like organize everything, like a system of just having all of this, because it's not like, you know, our own history that we're used to, or like our own world. Like, I'm very versed in American history because I've always grown up with that. Whereas here, I have to like make everything up from scratch. So like, it's fun and exciting and like truly such a crazy thing to like make up a whole world. But it's also very scary because there's so much. So I think that's like my biggest thing right now that I'm working on, or have been working on, is working or researching a lot and trying to figure out like a history and like the government system, because I already had that in place, but this is giving me an opportunity to rethink a lot of things and reevaluate what I want it to be and what I want it to want to put in there. So I've just been researching a lot of different types of government, I guess. Like, I know I want to keep the basics of what I have. I just really need to expand on it more and just include a lot of things. And history itself is so diverse and complex, and I really want to like add those little like details and little things in there. Even if I like make up a whole war or whatever and it's only mentioned like one time in the story, that's still like a small piece of world building that just really helps immerse the reader into everything. And so like, I want that, but it's so much. So that's what I've been doing. It's been a huge help to like go back and reference those very beginning sources of inspiration. I'm currently on hour 4 today of working on all of this, and I'm feeling great. I'm on a roll. I'm feeling really good. It's just fun to like think about all this stuff, and like sometimes I have to like remind myself like this is a whole world that I'm creating, and that's a huge deal. Like, even if this goes absolutely nowhere, this is like just such a cool thing to do. Even if like just world building in general, again, like it's obviously not one of my strong suits, but like even if I were to never write a story, like write this story about this world, it's still such a cool thing, especially like with quarantine and all this stuff. Like, I can't think of a cooler way to spend my time. Obviously writing, yes, but like anybody has the potential to just sit down and think of a whole new world, a whole new world. I totally didn't mean to put that in there. It's just so cool. I'm so happy that I'm a writer. Woo, I don't know what I would do if I were not just good at this. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to researching and brainstorming and all that good stuff. I will update y'all later. Alrighty folks, it is a bit later in the day. I just showered. I have a nice bowl of cereal because I'm hungry, even though it's like 9 o'clock. I am currently about halfway into my 5th hour of working on stuff for the day, and honestly, I feel great. This is the first time in a while where I've had a whole day. Like, I haven't had a day where I just focus on it like all day long. Like, obviously I've taken some breaks here and there, but today has been really like writing focused. Most of my thoughts today have been revolving around Project Orion, how to fix certain issues, and researching and brainstorming. I have started to write a history of NaNoWriMo, and it's really cool, and I'm so excited about it. Have y'all had the apple cinnamon Cheerios? They're so good. I'm already starting to feel like a lot more connected with the world, like even myself, like as the person who has conceived all of this, even just delving deeper into a lot of these aspects, which I thought beforehand I had an okay handle on. Like, there hasn't been anything where I've been like really detailed on any, you know, certain aspects, but as I'm getting deeper into all these things, I'm feeling a lot more connected with the world and the culture and the politics and just everything going on. So that's really nice. I do have to wake up early to go to work, but I'm gonna try to get 6 hours. We're gonna see if we can do that. I think we can. I think it's manageable. That's basically just another hour and a half, and I will be going to bed a little later than I should, but that's okay. I still haven't gotten any more progress on like reading through the beta reader notes. I'm not necessarily like saving it for anything. I just today I wanted to start with world building, and then I just got really into it, and that's just what we've been working on today. And I'm fine with that because that's still my biggest problem. And regardless of what the rest of the notes say, I know that all the world building stuff is still just a whole issue that I'm going to have to do anyway. Plus, I uploaded the beta reader vlog that went up today, and I've been looking through all your comments, and everyone's been so excited about it and really interested in, you know, the whole beta reader thing. And a lot of y'all were wanting a whole nother video of just like going through beta reader stuff. So plus we're almost at the end of the month, so I may just like film a separate vlog for that, going over all the beta stuff again, because I had a lot of fun with it too, so I'm really happy y'all like it. Oh, also, so I know I mentioned earlier my original sources of inspiration for this, which were BioShock Infinite, Dishonored 1 and 2, Final Fantasy, but if y'all have any more like video games or I mean any source like media, piece of media that kind of has the same sort of ideas. I know most of y'all have not read this story if you were not a beta reader, but I'm always open to new ideas. I love, you know, I've had a lot of fun today like researching through different like other fictional worlds and stuff like that. So if you have any more types of media that like that sort of steampunky, fantasy, science fiction, spec fic, maybe with air pirates, send them my way. I would love to look into it. But yeah, for right now, I'm just gonna finish this bowl of cereal first of all, and we're gonna keep world building. But first I'm actually gonna get another bowl of cereal because there's leftover milk, and that's what you do with leftover milk. So I've been working on stuff for a while and I'm getting really into it. I'm feeling really good. I am a little tired, but you know. And I look at the clock and realize that I am in my 7th hour. But the thing is, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this hour because I really do need to go to bed. It's almost midnight and I have to wake up at like 6. I have about 15 minutes, more like 17 minutes until like the halfway mark of the 7th hour. So I'm probably just going to keep working until then, just because I do have a really nice flow going on and I would love to stay up, but I really do have to go to sleep. But y'all, I have gotten so much. Okay, I wrote a whole, okay, not a whole history, but I started writing a history of NaNoWriMo and Nuvox, which is the capital, which is where most of the story takes place. Well, not most of the story takes place because they're traveling, but it's like their home city. So I started doing that, and then I also started expanding on my map a little bit, and I started drawing a little map of Nuvox, which is a city, and I haven't drawn a city map before. So it's interesting, it's different, but I'm so excited! Also, thank you to everyone who was in the last stream, because I asked for some name suggestions, just to like, little names that I could throw in here and there. And so, you know, I've got a nice list right here, and so thank you. I'm already using some of those names for locations, random places in the city, like names of rivers and districts and stuff like that. I'm so excited! Okay, I'm gonna keep going until the halfway mark, but wow, we have written for 6.5 hours today. Like 6.5 whole hours have been spent on Project Orion, and I'm really proud of myself. I'm not gonna get any sleep tonight, and I'm gonna have to drink lots of caffeine tomorrow, but it's worth it. It's a good day. We got it. Hello folks, it's the next day, and I got home from work a little bit ago. Well, I actually went to the grocery store after work and had to go grocery shopping, but now I'm home. I got some sushi to eat because I'm starving, and of course, the yum yum sauce. So earlier today, I managed to squeeze in the 30 minutes from yesterday. Since yesterday, I wrote for 6.5 hours. And so earlier today I squeezed in the 30 minutes, so I've got 7 hours to add to the website. I'm actually gonna do that right now because I don't want to forget. Okay, so now I have 37 hours out of 60. It's the 25th today. If we make it, we're gonna be cutting it very, very close. So I'm gonna be just cramming in as many hours as I can over the next few days. So right now I don't have much of a goal at the moment. I'm just gonna eat this, take it pretty easy. I'm not gonna be doing any hardcore, much of anything. Probably just more research for the time being while I eat, and then yeah, we'll go from there. This sushi is so good. Sushi is like the one big thing that I really miss from like not from not eating meat anymore. Sushi, I've always loved it and I miss it so much. This is vegetarian sushi, but it's not always the same, you know. Okay, so it's always, I don't know what it is about coming back in the evening / nighttime, but that's when I've been getting most of my writing done lately, apparently. It is much later in the day. It's actually almost midnight, and I do have to work in the morning, or thankfully not as early as I did today, but I just started my 4th hour. I think as of right now, I'm still feeling pretty good. I think we're gonna try to push through and get the full hour. We'll see. I'm only 10 minutes into it, so I might get tired, but I have all of my stuff here. I am getting so much world building done. I'm using both my paper notes and Scrivener, and it has been a fun time. My chair is so squeaky. But I've been doing so much thinking and researching and brainstorming, working on many versions of maps, scribbling all over this one. I was originally, which I know is so like amateur-ish of me to do because obviously it's not, but I made this map like a year ago maybe, and I was like, it's the perfect map and I'm not gonna mess with it anymore, but I didn't know anything about the world, so I'm scribbling all over it now. This was the original map. I have begun to figure out a history. I'm trying to kind of make a timeline-ish. It's hard to make a timeline right now. I'm not really making the timeline at the moment because I'm still thinking of events and history and all this stuff, but I'm keeping that in mind, trying to see how things fit together, trying to see how to label years and stuff like that, even though I'm not even starting on any of that, and as well as writing the history of NaNoWriMo. Another thing that I've encountered that I really want to have a lot of information on, even if it doesn't quite pertain to my story, is religion, because I know most, if not every single world, is not going to be complete without a religion. Even if it's not important to the plot or the story, it's still something that's so big and shapes so many people's world views. So I just really want to be able to have that and use and reference it when necessary, because of course that always adds to like the immersiveness. But it's a lot. There's a lot of things going on. It's many things. I'm thinking about a lot of stuff. The fandom wikis have been such a huge help in all of this. I've been doing so much research, and again, like I said, the original inspirations, but also like other pieces of media that I have found that I love, and I don't know why I didn't think about it to begin with. Even if they weren't the original inspirations, they're still so close to it. And that's like Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, and of course Avatar: The Last Airbender, because that has been such a huge part of my life, honestly. Like, it's one of my favorite things. And a lot of the world and technology-ish is very similar. And also the wiki for it is incredibly organized. Like, kudos to y'all, whoever works on those, because it is so much easier to navigate than any of the other ones. But yeah, those have been a huge help, as well as just, you know, my brain. I don't give my brain enough credit sometimes, you know? And I think you don't either, because all of this stuff came from right here. This little area right here, or a big area if you got big head, that's okay. It's crazy. All of this stuff came from right in here. I'm making a whole world. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going, and we're just gonna do stuff, you know? Also, I did get this out. I probably should have done it earlier, but all y'all commenting, I'm typing up here with my, because I like it raised, you know, but it's a laptop, so it's there. I'm talking about my spider hands. Like, does that hurt? No, actually it doesn't. But I did get this because it is easier. Hello everyone, it is Sunday, April 26th. This video goes up tomorrow, but it goes up while I'm at work, so I need to get it done right now. Also, I'm exhausted. I ended up falling asleep earlier while editing this video. It's because I've been staying up so late working on all of this, but so I'm not going to be doing much for today just because I really need to finish editing this video. So at the end of since yesterday, because I haven't logged any hours for today yet, but as of yesterday night, after those last clips, I have 42 hours out of 60. It's gonna be so close. I don't even know how many hours that is per day to be able to finish this, but we're very, very close. Kind of. We're far away, but close at the same time if I can keep up this momentum, which honestly, I've really been feeling so good. And it's been really easy for me these past few days to get more hours in just because, especially knowing that world building is my biggest issue, I know what to work on, and so I feel like I have a bit more control about what I'm doing. I don't feel as aimless. So that is the update for at the end of this vlog, and I believe I'm going to have one more vlog after this one. So today's Sunday, and the end of camp is this Thursday, and so the last few days of camp is going to go up in a vlog just like this one next Monday on the 4th. So that is where this saga will end. But this installment of the saga is going to be ending right now, so I can finish editing this and also go to sleep, get some sleep, because I'm so tired. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all in the next one.